Alright, so I mentioned this in a previous video. This is my trusty weapon of choice for cart and sticks. So this is the battery one, wee Parkside, and we've used it before, so it's alright. It's a bit slow, but it's handy enough. You can lift it with one hand, you can throw it about. This is kind of cool, the chain oil level, so she's up to there. Any other saw, it doesn't actually show you how much chain oil you have. It's a good job. So yeah, this is the 20-volt one, 10-inch bar, or 12 maybe, I don't know what it is. I've bought this, and I've bought the little 20-something cc petrol one. And I've got a heap of batteries charged, ready to go. So these are 4 amp hour, these are 2. And I'm pretty much going to see, I might record how long it takes as well, but to cut some sticks, put them in the matbro bucket, and then I'll bring out the petrol one if I'm not fed up with looking at sticks. So yeah, well, if you want to see her going, actually give me a wee second. So this is really going to test how well I can handle it with one hand. So you've got a wee button on the side that you press, like a dead man switch, and then you pull the throttle. So this is me doing it with one hand as well. And that's pretty much it. She's quiet. She's nowhere near as keen as a petrol saw. Like, she'll not keep up with her speed wise, but she can cut a fair bit on a 2 amp hour battery. So I'm pretty confident I'll be fit a fiddle bucket with without using all my batteries. So I'll have a bash at that now then. So before I started, I thought I'd read up what Dad had cut out of my way. So this the battery saw is only actually going to get doing about half of a matbro, and I know I can fit more on there if I build them properly, but I'm literally taking them down the lane, so there's no harm in moving the matbro a wee bit. It's probably 5-6 degrees, and I've the coat off, so that's well, everyone knows batteries don't work as well in the cold, but petrol saws do, so you'll have to bear that in consideration as well. Right, so this one here is dead. So this is what you can get done on a 2 amp hour battery. I know they're not big sticks, like they're not hard work, and a petrol saw would probably do them quicker, but she can go through up to the full depth of the blade. It's just once the battery starts getting low, she gets very stally, and then well, you need a new battery. But I'm thinking she'd be fit to fill the matbro bucket on a 2 amp hour battery and a 4 amp hour battery, which isn't bad out of going. Like, it's not exactly hard to be honest. It probably takes longer to fill the matbro than it would to charge the other 2 batteries. So, you know, if I run that one out, stick it on the charger, it'd probably be charged by the time I get through those 2. And then by the time that one's done, those 2 would be full. You know, you could work her. And I really like the way the oil level is on her. So you can tell at a glance if she needs oil. But yeah, I'll change my battery now and keep slogging. Right, so that's still the second 2 amp hour battery. And I'm gonna throw it up here. See what's left in her. There's a wee bit of life in her. But that's as full as I'm going to do it now, because Dad has told me to get out of the matbro because he wants her. So I'm going to go and empty this now. But yeah, half a bucket near as can be, with two 2 amp hour batteries, and it hadn't installed on me yet, but once the battery gets out, you can tell it slows down and gets a bit, you know, if you try to cut something like that with it and it's done, you'd notice her stalling on you and you have to pull her out and go again. But Nah, nowhere near as vicious as a petrol saw, but I suppose it's handy if you run out of 2-stroke or you want to do something, there's only one cut or something. Grab her and grab a drill battery and go for it, you know? So that's one of the 4 ampere batteries. It should be still charged. Aye, and I think, well, what I wanted to show you is this charger here. So the standard one that Lidl sells, or that you'll see, is a 2.4. There's no fan in it. This one here's a good one. It's a 4.5 ampere, so it should charge nearly twice as quick. You'll hear it. And then this is the wee petrol one. So she's a top handle saw. You've got, you know, primer and everything on her just to show you she's 2-stroke. Heap of warnings on her, and a different thing, but because it's top handle you can really swing it about even with one hand, you know. Handy wee thing. I don't actually have any petrol or oil in her yet, so I'll well, I need to empty the sticks out of the matbro because Dad wants her, and then I might see about some tea actually, and then come out and have a bash of this and record a wee bit of her. I think I've showed this before, but this is a window into the back of our barn, and you line the bucket of the matbro up with the window, fire them in through the window, and then they're in the barn and they're nice and dry. We were oh dear. We were talking about making some sort of a chute that you could just tip them in, but haven't quite got there yet, so I have to actually throw them. And then you can see we're running a wee bit light on sticks. So you can hear Dad in the background there. He's taking my matbro off me, and that's the sort of wee pile you get out of one matbro bucket. It's not great, but it'd do. I know Mum's soaring. Hey, Mum's sore on sticks. She just nearly go through a bar full a day, but you get a week out of that anyway, like. It's always another lock-in. So Dad wanted a bale of straw down with the matbro, and this is his really subtle way of telling me that he doesn't really want me using the matbro anymore. He's put her in and parked the tractor in front of her. He was actually telling me that I was kind of wasting my time with the chainsaws up there. The petrol one spins the chain quicker, so she obviously cuts quicker, and you'll get more out of her. You know, a tank of petrol will do longer than any battery. But see, for wee sticks like that, chainsaw's not really a job. The only real job's the bench saw, which is pretty much what Dad said to me. He said, he says, you're only wasting my time and you're kind of in the way. So that was my answer. I guess if all you've got's a garden and you're gonna have maybe, you know, a couple of branches in the year, battery saw would be fine. If you're gonna go a wee bit bigger, like maybe if you want to take down a tree or two to save yourself the price of firewood, go for the petrol one. And then if you're gonna be doing any, like if you've got a pile of sticks like ours, get a bench saw. She is the only answer. Like, it took, I don't know if I actually said, but it took me the guts of an hour to fill her bucket and then empty it. And with a petrol one, you'd probably do it maybe, you know, 10 minutes quicker, 15 minutes quicker. But see the bench saw, 5-10 minutes you'd have the bucket full. Like, I remember we had the power link box on one of the tractors. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Pat. Oh, it's good to see you, but you're all wet. You're a soaking dog, you are. I guess this is the first time you've been in a video in a while, isn't it? Good boy. He is absolutely hyper. And he just loves everyone, doesn't he? He's a good boy. Oh, he is. Oh, I was saying, the power link box would have had it on the tractor and had the bucket on this, and Dad would have been fit to fill them as quick as I could empty them. So she's just a better tool for the job. Jimmy's a good boy. Jimmy's a good boy, even though he's all wet. Good boy. So I never actually showed you much about this one. So you've got the wee primer bulb here, pull start. This here's kind of cool. You take out this wee screw here and the whole thing pops off to get your air filter and the spark plug. Chain oil, fuel. You've got a wee on off switch here. And this is the choke. So to put on the choke, you pull it up until it clicks, and then to put it off again, you pull the throttle or push it down. And that's the you can see there's the battery one there. It's the same length of bar. So handy if I ever need the chain off of one, I can stick it in another. That one there is dead simple. She's literally, well, you have this trigger on the side and pull up the throttle at the same time. And then the only other thing is, well, chain tensioning. This in here is the same. You screw there for the tension. That and there's all, you don't really need any tools whatsoever. They're all these big notches on her. And then the guard works the same way as any other. You pull it until it goes one's go and two's off. I think you push it. That's two. And then this in here is the same idea, only noisier. That's it off. That's it on. And then the reason the reason I've went Parkside is because Dad already has the big one. So mine's like, what's it, 23cc or something. Not overly top handle 23cc. And then this is the big one. I think it's 58 or 60 or something. You got the bigger bar. It's just better made. So there's your chain oil, fuel, pull cord. And the same, this is the spark plug and air filter. That's the proper choke and primer. And the tensioner's probably there somewhere, yeah, exact same. Probably even the same panel. But yeah, that's just the bigger version. Yeah, I think the only real cool thing about the little petrol or the little battery one is whenever you're cutting branches and stuff, you know the way you lift a branch, set it up, cut it, and then with the petrol saw, because you don't want to go through the bother of starting it again, you tend to just cut and cut and cut and cut and then set her down, turn her off, and then start tidying up. But with the battery one, you can kind of, you know, set her down, chop up a stick, set her down again, and she's, you know, she only runs if you pull the trigger, so it's a good job. But definitely if you're doing any sort of, like, lots of sticks to do, use the bench saw. Alright, then this is a bit of a different video. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Alright, see you again. Cheers. You coming? You coming?